Hi everyone, Joey Ebanks here. I just wanted to chat with you all, make this video to let you all know, to discuss the 29 counts of charges brought against me today by the RCIP. I can assure you that every single one of these charges, I do have evidence to disprove. What really should have happened with this is that when these allegations were made, and I assume they were made by Louis Boucher, the Deputy Managing Director. He wants to be Managing Director. He wants to stay in Cayman. And therefore, these charges, I'm assuming, came from him. And I can assure you, I do have evidence to refute every single one of these. It wasn't until today that we got a chance to meet with the police and go over each and every one of these. Now, you have to remember that prior to that, Ezra Miller and Wendy Ledger were given the list of what I was being investigated for a day in advance of me and my attorney receiving it. So clearly there's an attempt here by the Commissioner of Police, Duncan Taylor, Ezra Miller, political enemies of mine, to ensure that my name is smeared, I can't win the election, and everything that's possible can be done will be done. And there's no doubt in my mind that the C4C is a part of this. So we have 8 counts of obtaining property by deception, and that's all about my travel, business travel. So my trip to Puerto Rico, when I went to a conference on developing the regional policy on renewables, that's the business. That's one of the business trips that I'm being charged for under obtaining property by deception. There is a money transfer that occurred trying to get funding for the residential solar program. I traveled to Canada, where I had been invited to come and source cash for this. And on my way back from Canada, I was coming from Edmonton to Houston, Miami, Grand Cayman. And the flight out of Edmonton was delayed because of the weather. It was in the winter. And I missed the connecting flight to Miami, so I had to overnight. Funds were sent to me to cover my expenses while I was there by Western Union. And that's the obtaining money by deception charge. There are other 7 counts of theft, which relates to checks made in my name that were cashed by me, all of which I can account for. So for each check is 1 theft. So 7 checks, 7 counts. The other one is making a document without authority. There are 9 counts of that. These are my travel expenses, checks, and purchases made to the Mac store for Apple product on approval from the ERA board and the ERA subcommittee. There is obtaining property by deception. Again, this is the Mac store products. 99% of the Mac store products were handed over to Louis Boucher, the Deputy Managing Director, for him to disperse off and hand out. I understand some of the ERA board members are saying they never received it. Well, Louis Boucher was given those. He was to distribute those. The ones that I picked up anyway, those that I picked up. Then there's 2 counts of forgery, and I've seen both checks, and I can assure you the signatures do match those, and from my standpoint, those of the persons, certainly Louis Boucher and Mike Hurlin. And then there's transfer of criminal property, 1 count, and that's again Apple products that have disappeared that I handed over to Louis Boucher. So all in all, there is a total of 29 charges. Had the governor or the police at any time called me in, sat with me and said, ask me questions for each one, I could have produced the emails and the evidence to verify all of this, and we need not have been here. That's one of the other reasons why I'm convinced that this is just political. It has nothing to do with me committing an offense, but rather ensuring that Ezra Miller wins. Ezra has cut a deal with C4C that they will make him Speaker of the House if he wins and if he votes with them, and he wants to be able to retire after this election with a higher pension. He wants to retire as a speaker with the pension that comes with that. So there is a lot of politics going on here. I am relieved today, and in fact, a couple of my friends said that I was taking it too much for a joke, but I'm finally just relieved that I know what I'm being charged with. Now, they say they're going to come with more, and I invite Taylor to, he can contaminate everything else that he has, the urine sample, the DNA sample, and come with all the charges he wants. One thing is certain is that Duncan Taylor is involved in this. This is going to come out. More is going to come out. Much more. The fact is that there are some powerful people in this country who I have said no to. And I've said no repeatedly. I refuse to fix the dark bit. This began then. Had I taken the $500,000 that was offered to me, I wouldn't be here. I would still be at work. But in a way, I'm actually glad I am here. I'm glad I'm here because finally there's something worth fighting for, and something that you take on and you go the distance on, and I'm ready to do that. And I don't want people to get in front of this, but I do want you to stand for justice and ensure that people get justice. It's free for all. There are some powerful people that I'm fighting against. I'm not afraid of any of them. I know maybe by now you're sick of hearing I'm not afraid, but I really am not afraid. I'm looking forward to this fight. I'm looking forward to the next 42 days, 41 days, and this campaign, and getting on the road and defending myself. I'm looking forward to getting in a courtroom that I know I can get a fair trial. That's important. And more stuff may come, I'm sure. I'm sure they're going to attack me with more. None of the other media houses will allow me to speak, so I'm having to make this tape, post it on my Facebook page, in hopes that you guys will share it with other people so they can see it. Cayman 27 will not let me be interviewed. What they'll do is invite me in. I'll do a 30-minute interview, and they'll just use it against me. So they give 50 seconds of the interview, and then they bring in all of the legal issues without my having a chance to comment on it. So I can't go there. I can't go to the Caymanian Compass. I cannot go to Cayman News Services. Cayman Net News to some extent, but they're also afraid. And my only way to get my message out is through my radio show on Vibe FM and through this media Facebook. So I'm having to sit here, make my own video from my iPad. Thanks, Apple. Great job being able to do this. And I'm going to get this out to you, and I'll make more. And I do, one of the things I want to encourage you to do is to, when I'm on the show, when there's open mic and special, please don't hesitate to ask me the hard questions. If you go, for example, to the list that is on the CNS, this list that the police gave them before giving me and my attorney, gave CNS Wendell Ledger and gave to Ezra Miller, you're going to see one item on there where a check is made out to Mike Hurlin, signed by Mike Hurlin, cashed by Mike Hurlin, and I'm being charged for that too. So I'm being charged for my text messages, I'm being charged for my roaming charges, and they're saying, oh, it's excessive. Well, during that period, we had no board, so I did more work than was normal. And so my roaming charges, my text charges went up because we're in the middle of negotiating the bid and finalizing negotiation as well. Again, I want to reassure you that my knowledge and involvement with the bid itself and knowing that there was corruption occurred on March the 1st for the first time, and then March the 2nd, and then the recordings that I have created following that brings out the evidence. One of the positives that's occurring is that the US based company has just emailed me. They're behind me 100%, demanding the independent investigation. So this will hopefully become a reality. Now I can assure you that this company is not afraid of suing the Cayman Islands government, suing Duncan Taylor, suing anyone they have to sue to make sure that they get a fair shake. So I'm sitting here in my living room, making my own video, trying to get my message out, and I really would appreciate if you would maybe share this with your friends and family and share it with as many people as you can, just so that my side of the story can be told too. I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. Good night.